which was about religion and spirituality. Is what we're doing here religious, or is it spiritual? Because in the minds of some, it can't be both. You have to choose. Well, I beg to disagree. I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to say it's spiritually religious, it's religiously spiritual. But seriously, spirituality is an experience, and religion is a story about that experience. That's the difference. That's the definition to me, right there. Spirituality is a direct, first-hand, unmediated experience of the divine, as showing up in nature, as showing up in other people, and certainly as showing up in yourself. And when you have that experience, you want to tell people about it. You want to write about it. You want to sing about it. You want to paint about it. And that's where religion comes in. You want to create a repetitious ritual that provokes that experience again and again. And that's how formal, institutionalized religion came along. Somebody had an experience. Jesus, for example, came into the world. He said, I and my Father are one. He said, I am of him who sent me. And he had this awareness of his oneness with his source that's based on the literature we have at hand is indisputable. So people looked at that and they said, I want that. I want that for myself. So what do I need to do? So when Jesus said, well, when you pray, pray in this manner, and so people started praying in that manner. And then people also started praying to Jesus. It's like, well, let's go. He says, only through me can you come to the Father, which is a statement that it can be taken a number of ways. But if you take it at face value, you say, only through me can you come to that. Then I say, well, then I'll pray to him. And you should too. And I'm going to raise my kids to do that, and generation after generation. And pretty soon it became just a thing. And we've always done this. And you came out of some religious background that you were raised in. And a lot of people in your family probably went to whatever that place was just because prior generations had, and you didn't want to disrespect them. But spirituality is at the heart of the matter, the direct experience, the unmediated. I keep coming back to that word, unmediated. You don't have to go through anybody else. Nobody else steers it for you. Nobody else holds the door open for you. You go directly to the source of your own being and you say, here I am. What do you want me to do? How do you want me to, how can I best live? How can I best love? How can I best serve? You go to that and you have that experience. So religion is a dicey kind of thing because when it gets into enforced behavior, and this goes back to the first question about if Jesse Jennings on a Sunday says, well, we're calling God the divine nature. Does that mean everybody has to just snap to and start doing that? Of course not. That's bogus. But we've all kind of been pushed around a little by other people's opinions, be they religious or political or commercial or what have you. So it's a new thought. Which is what we call this whole shebang. It's a new thought for many people that they can make up their own story. They can make up their own story, which is ironic in a sense because everybody's making up their own story about life and behavior, aren't they? Aren't we, right? All along. We look back at our childhoods and we tell a story of how things were, and then you get with your siblings, if you're fortunate enough to have siblings, and you find out everybody has a different story of the same time sitting around the dinner table and what happened that Christmas and so on. But the story of spirituality is yours to recreate daily and to adjust and tweak, and you can bring more stuff into it. And this is what Ernest Holmes said about this being a syncretistic or syncretic spiritual practice that we have. And what that means is we glom onto spiritual practices from across the globe that look meaningful to us, that especially feel meaningful to us, and we begin to employ them. Okay.